All right, it's Friday. Woohoo! Time
Yay.
for another episode of Q&A with Alan and Marshall. I'm Marshall Atkinson,
I'm Alan Howe with Easy Way.
and welcome to our show. So if you're watching right now, we would love it if you would please say hello and where you're watching from. We want to know that you're here. I know some people watch and they never comment. I don't know why. Okay.
I know.
They're scared.
But even if you watch this pre-record or after it's recorded and stuff, put a comment on. Let us know.
Let us know that you saw it. Okay. And then also, please share. Hit the share button that you're watching this, because we're trying to grow our audience, so we need some help, right?
Absolutely. So, hey, Marshall, one thing, we got busy talking and jabbering. Our banner up top, are we sponsored still? Marshall just left me. Oh my gosh. I don't know what happened. Hello, everybody. So I don't know where Marshall is.
Hey, I took a vacation.
Okay.
Yes, we're sponsored. So I went to click the button and I hit the wrong thing.
And you hit the wrong one again.
Yeah. Oh, that's not me. Where are we? There we go.
GSG. No.
Try
again.
Where is the thing?
I don't know. You have the controls this time. We
are
new at this.
Do we know what we're doing?
We go.
All right.
It's going to be one of them shows. Oh, my Lord.
Hey, what? Hey, we're professionals.
Oh, yeah. We got this down pat. It's unreal.
All right. So what the hell was I saying before that? All that stuff, right? So, hey, if you're watching, please say hello. Thank you so much. And we got a couple of people doing that. Kim says hello. Good morning from Arizona.
Yay.
Hey, Kim, I need to come out and see your shop and hang out, okay? So DM me your info so I can do that.
Cool.
I'm crazy busy in the next couple of weeks, but I'd love to come out. So we'll get that going. Ghost is from Sweden, watching as usual. Frank's watching from SNS Activewear. Thank you, Frank. And we're going to be talking about you here in a little bit, probably because of you're coming to Shirt Lab. So we're going to talk about that.
And don't we have Frank coming on the show soon too?
Yes, we do.
Yay.
Right. And then Kisa says, good morning from Kyle, Texas. Excited to see you all next week in Fort Worth. Yes,
it will be incredible. Are you coming, Kisa, to Shirt Lab? And
she is, and also with her with Chris from her shop, right?
Oh, so, good.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, Marshall. I am excited about my first Shirt Lab. This one, just because I think there's so many people that I have never met that I see on this show or other places and Tribe and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to meeting everybody.
Yes. So anyway, thank you everyone for tuning in. We appreciate you. Please share that you're watching. Again, we want to grow our audience. I'm going to be very careful touching the buttons. Hopefully I don't.
Absolutely.
Hopefully I don't leave again.
Yeah, because when you leave, I don't have control of it. You're running the controls right now. So.
Right. And then Peter says, hello, guys. Pete and Val from Port Huron, Michigan.
How you guys doing? I'm really looking forward to it. I'm actually going to be at their shop, it looks like, next Tuesday.
Really? That's great.
Yeah, they bought a dip tank package and a filtration system. I'm going to help them get that set up in Port Huron. I have some friends there. And from what I understand, Val said...
Where is that?
If you look on the thumb area of Michigan, Michigan's like this. It's kind of right here.
It's right on the lake.
Detroit's here. This would be right there where Lake Huron starts and the Detroit River going to Lake St. Clair. Right there is where it is. There's a bridge going across to Canada called Sarnia. So that's where it is. Detroit's here. Port Huron's here. And I live kind of about an hour right here away.
Great. Cool.
Flint's here. Grand Rapids, Traverse City. This is where Christine Shreve lives. So right up here in Traverse City. So yeah.
And today's geography lesson is brought to you by our fine friends at GSG.
Exactly. Who cover Michigan.
Right. Hey, since I just said their name, why don't we show their little commercial?
I think that'd be great because they have a great commercial.
here we go. And by the way, we're going to be getting a new one soon. So
I know, I'm excited.
We don't know when, but we're going to be getting a new one soon. But
exactly.
Here's the one we have now. All right. Unbeknownst to Alan, I was recording him dancing, so I'm going to show that tape right now.
Everybody needs to. You have to dust dance during that music. So, well, yeah.
All right. Hey, Charles is here. Good morning.
From New Mexico.
Yep. And then Kim says, hoping to see you guys at Shirt Lab, trying to figure out things with my teenager. We just moved out here, so a little nervous leaving him alone yet. By the way, Kim, my teenager is coming to Shirt Lab because I'm throwing him some money for working. So he's 17. So his name's Jack, and he's been on the show. So he's coming out. He's flying in on Saturday night, his first plane trip by himself. So be kind of interesting.
It'll be good because Jack does not understand how all we do is talk about shirts and garments the whole time.
Yeah, he's been talking about shirts and garments his whole life. So
yeah, exactly. So
and I think what's going to be fun is you guys seeing him and him seeing everything, and you'll know he's my kid because he's twice everybody's size already. So
even mine.
Yeah, he's gigantic, right?
Yeah,
so,
I'm excited. I've never met him. I've talked to him on the show here, and we've talked, but I feel like I know him. So
yeah,
it'll
be good. So Brian says good morning.
Morning,
Cindy
Brian.
says good morning. I'm out of time, but checking in. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you,
appreciate
Cindy.
you.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So you ready to roll some topics?
Let's do that. There's been a lot of news.
Now remember, right? This is a Q&A show, right? So we are here for you. So please ask a question, leave a comment. The more engagement we get, the better, right? That's how we roll here. It's not just me and Alan spouting off whatever we want to say. We need you guys to participate.
But Marshall, you and I spout off what we want to say, even when we're on the phone together. So that's no fun.
We have no filter,
and nobody needs to hear our opinion. It's
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Our first topic is Printing United canceled.
Absolutely, yeah.
So some people, hey, please comment. Do you even know what Printing United is? Right? If you know what it is, say, yes, I know what it is. If you've never heard of Printing United, please say, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that would be interesting to know.
Yeah, please. We were going to do a little mini poll here, right? So who knows what Printing United is? Leave a comment. If you don't know what Printing United is, leave a comment. If you were going to Printing United in Orlando and you're bummed like we are, and you had to cancel all your travel like I just did the other day, please leave a comment about that too. So
absolutely. If you're a member of SGIA, I'd love to know that also. Or if you know what that is.
Well, it's Printing United, right? So
so some people may not even recognize the name change.
Okay. All right. So we got some comments. So let me scroll back up here. So Peter says, how often do you do Shirt Lab? Hey, we're going to get into that in a little bit, Peter. So I'm just going to skip over that right now, but we'll come back. Kim says Mason is 17 also, but he has no interest in going with me. Hey, you're the parent. Drag him along.
And remember, Marshall's paying Jack too.
Yeah, I am paying him. Right?
So there you go.
Well, he's going to be working, right?
Yep.
So we have heavy stuff that needs to go. Hey, Jack, get that stuff. Put it over there, right? So Dad does
up at the hotel. Please get his bags. He doesn't want to pay it all up.
Kisa says Jack is awesome. Excited to meet him. Thank you, Kisa. Cindy says I'm trying to think of a question. Okay. Who wants a friend with a filter? Nobody.
If you're friends with us, it just comes with the territory.
There's no filter here, right?
None
Hurley
whatsoever.
says good morning. Cindy goes, it used to be the SGI show. That's right.
Good job.
You win a cookie.
That's right.
Kim says, yes, looking forward to Orlando.
Yeah, that was too bad.
Hi guys, home now, so glad to be watching. Great.
Yeah, did you hear about did you see where Simon was?
Where
So
was he?
Simon, I'm not going to give details, but Simon was in the hospital, had some surgery all
Oh,
of a sudden. So glad you're home and doing better, man. Praying and thoughts
yeah.
are with you. So
Great. Yes.
basically they caught something very early, and I'm not going to go into that. That's private. If you want to say,
Yeah.
Simon,
Right.
go ahead, but I'm glad you're doing well, my man.
Yeah. Right. Right. Peter says, I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. SGIA and Printing
Yeah.
United. Yeah.
Yes, it was formerly SGIA.
Yep.
Ghost says, I don't know.
Great.
Peter says,
International
good
and don't
morning,
know.
Marshall and Alan from M&R.
Hey, Peter.
Cindy says, we used to be members.
Used
but
to be
not
members.
now, right?
Yep.
Why did you drop, Cindy? Very curious.
It'd be good to hear. Yeah.
And then Keith says, good morning, guys. Right. So
Yeah.
Printing United, okay, for those that don't know, is the rebranded version of SGIA. So SGIA is our industry's trade association. So they're all about education. They're all about making things better. They do webinars. They have lobbyists. They have all that. Marcy Kinter, by the way, is probably one of the most well-connected people that
Yep.
on this planet, and I have the pleasure of being friends with her. So,
Yep.
So there's they have a lot of stuff, but they rebranded. 3 years ago? When was that, Alan? 3 years ago?
2 years ago was the first expo in Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah, rebranded to Printing United, and the goal was to be the largest printing expo on the planet, right?
Which they were.
Yep. And so now this show was going to be in Orlando, and I believe 2022's is in Las Vegas.
Yep, it is.
If I remember right. So, and of course, the Academy, Alan and I are Academy members, and which is a huge honor. I'm so honored to be in that level of the industry. Yeah. And so is all about Printing United, SGIA, right? So
the Academy, and I mean, it's hard to say what it is without bragging, but I mean, I'm just honored. It is literally the Global Hall of Fame. And
yeah, I don't know how I stunk it.
Me, but I will say what the late Joe Clark told me, and Mr. Mark Houdray, when you get a call from them just congratulating you, you're there amongst royalty. And Mark told me, because I still don't know how he slipped in there, and he just said, right, you're in there because of what you did, not compared to anybody else. You were nominated by the Academy and voted in by the Academy.
Right. Well, it's a global thing, and there's only like 2 or 3 people a year admitted. So it's kind of
sometimes there's been some years with none.
Yeah.
So I was excited that Marshall got in.
Yeah, well, you nominated me, so thank you.
I did, and I did some work on there. And Marshall, can I tell him the story about having dinner with you in 2018?
Yeah, that's cool.
So I'm with Marshall in Fort Worth. We have dinner. We knew each other. We didn't do this podcast, and I had heard I got accepted into the Academy. So it's a little bit, I don't want to say secret society. So I was told in September, you're there, and the deal is you don't say nothing until it's announced publicly.
Yeah, right.
I
had been nominated also. Right?
And he tells me this before we have dinner, that he was nominated. He was hoping to hear, and I knew if he hadn't heard, he didn't make it.
Right.
And you don't know who you're going against.
Right.
So I was on there. So during dinner, I was like praying for a heart attack, a stroke. Because I didn't want to face him and hope he knew. So I fessed up later on.
I was so happy for you, right? So,
yeah. I was, but it was awful, because I actually, Marshall, like I said, I think you should have been in before me. Yeah. But hey, it doesn't matter when you're in there. Other people that are on the show, Richard Greaves, James Erdelani, who have been on, Mark Houdray.
It's a who's who, right? I mean,
it kind of is. Greg Kitson is in there. And then in Europe, there are guys like you hear us talk about Michelle Kaza and Jack Stansel, and their Grandma Lockheed, who's with technical director for FESPA, who I was nominated in with, and just incredible. So
right.
But so I was looking forward to, that's where the Academy meet. We were looking forward to see other Academy members, and
Right. So Simon says prostate cancer, but hey, so happy we got that taken care of.
Yeah.
Good job.
Simon put a nice thing on Facebook from the hospital that he caught it early, and just really a great heartfelt that especially for men, prostate cancer is massive killer if it's not caught early to get tested and checked. And so Simon, thank you so much for your openness. So glad you're doing well.
Right.
Yeah.
So Cindy says she's not sure why she dropped. Okay, so that's interesting.
You know what I think that tells us something too. If you're not sure why you dropped, you probably weren't sure why you're in it and what value was it.
Right.
So I don't know. It's just Alan's opinion. So again, who needs that? Yeah.
So anyway, so where are we on the list here? So Kim says prayers for Simon. Thanks, Kim. Yep. Sean says good morning. Hey,
morning, Sean.
M&R is
someone from M&R. All right.
Yeah, great.
Identify yourself. Is that Mr. Danny Sweem? Is that Michelle Moxley? Who is that?
Could be Thomas Trimmingham, maybe.
Could be Tom Trimmingham. Yep.
So Hurley says, how do you become a member of SGIA? SGIA.org. There's a membership button, I'm sure. I'm not sure what the membership rate is. I believe it's based on your revenue more than anything.
We have 2 Canadians in Academy. So
Cindy says that's fantastic. Thanks. And
it is.
Glad you're on the road to recovery, right?
Absolutely.
So anyway, so Printing United is canceled. And the thing that was disappointing to me, now remember, what I'm going to say is my own opinion, and I'm a guy, right? I'm in the industry, one of the big reasons I think that we're canceled is because a lot of the non-US companies canceled, right? And then they decided to cancel the whole show. But we've known for a long time that you can't fly from Europe to the United States. So it seems to me that if that was going to be the check box that we're going to cancel the show, they could have done that a long time ago and saved everybody a lot of trouble. Or I am a big believer in just do it anyway, because there's people who can make business, to make sales, make transactions, make relationships, take that class, do these things that don't necessarily have anything to do with the people that canceled. Right. And so I'm very disappointed because I know that me going there, I could have done, I could have helped a lot of people. Alan and I, we were talking about doing a bunch of live remote broadcasts from there. So it's just a kind of a bummer, and I'm a little disappointed. So I just think that, I was at Atlantic City last week. You were at DAX. Both of those shows are significantly smaller than the ones that, we've been to previously. But I can tell you that the vendors that were there were doing incredible business.
They were.
The people that were there, the attendees were incredibly enthusiastic about being there. I taught my classes, had this just about the same number of people. Okay. So in my classes, and, I always do a, hey, where you're from, who came here from the furthest away. One person drove 7 hours to the Atlantic City show. Okay. So to me, it's like, these people really want to learn. They really want to find product, find the solutions to things. And I think the vendors that show up to this stuff, they win because they're there and their competition is not.
Absolutely.
Right? That's just my own personal opinion. I know it's crazy expensive. I know that there's COVID and there's all this other stuff going on, but that's my opinion. So what do you think?
I agree. I think with any trade show, if you go, you automatically become one of the top 10% of your market because you are there learning stuff to help your business. Plain and simple. That's any show. DAX was smaller. AC was smaller. I think the vendor and the crowd was smaller because the vendors are smaller. For vendors like EasyWay, M&R, Techmar, GSG, it's a little bit harder sometimes to do these shows. There is an expense, not just of booth, but hotel and people and stuff. So there's an expense there. but you almost got to weigh it of what does it say when you're not there. But I think for the crowds that have been there, everybody's been coming with a purpose. The bad thing about Printing United, aside from you and I would have enjoyed being there, we had some things planned. We're a little disappointed. I know Easy Way was going to have a small booth there. M&R was going to be showcasing a new digital product. I'd love to hear from M&R or Peter on that, on your thoughts.
I talked to Michelle Moxley last week about it, and she was so excited.
Yeah,
to show that
was going to showcase big there.
Right. I don't want to steal their thunder and talk about it, but if Peter, you want to chime in there.
Yeah, we're not going to say what it was.
Whoever the eyeball person is at M&R on this.
Yeah. So I'd love to hear that. But to think that two of the bigger ones, and I know who they are, I don't want to say. I don't know that we want to say on there. They do have a huge U.S. presence and international. I think it still comes down to the numbers and profitability for SGIA.
Right.
This is one of the issues with being so big of packaging, of flexo, of litho, of screen, of industrial, of on that, where someone gets lost in the shuffle. And we can get into that before. You've been on boards. I've been on committees for them. But the fact that we're not plowing through, and just a week ago, there was a press release from Printing United from Ford Bowers, the CEO, said, we are going forward, regardless of. Probably less than a week before.
Right.
And I think that puts them in bad light.
That was very encouraging, right?
I was glad to hear it. That puts them in bad light, I believe. That's my opinion. Not a knock on them. I'm glad I don't have to make those decisions, but yeah.
Well, it was a financial thing, right? I'm sure, right?
I'm sure.
But here's the challenge that I see is that Printing United is probably more of a trade show organization than they are as a industry, lobbying for networking. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm like
they're not a lobby group. They're not an industry
industry organization for its members, right? So it's really so when you cancel that show, right? So what are you?
Yeah,
right. And so I'm on their lists, I'm on their things, and I don't see a whole lot of interaction with the members and stuff, right? And I don't know. It's just this to me is you gotta be present to win, and that's a big thing right now, and especially with the times that we're in. I think regardless of what's going on, you have to show up.
Yeah.
And if you're not there, what does that say? Because there are people who want to meet you, to go there, to do things, to buy stuff, right? And if you're not there, you don't get that opportunity. I totally get the money part. I totally understand that, right? But that doesn't mean that you can't be there with a limited thing, right? Or
absolutely.
At Atlantic City, Sanmar was there. They had a 10 by 10 booth. Okay. That was packed full of people.
Yep.
Okay. They figured out how to make it work. Right. So it wasn't their normal humongous giant thing. It was a limited thing, but they were there talking and, writing orders and doing things. I don't know how successful it was for them.
Yeah.
But, it's just one of these things where, that's,
I do believe that there were some of the garment companies were actually signed up for Printing United this year, which is a little bit unusual. I thought I saw, which was good. And Printing United is trying to reach our garment decorating industry better, to do a better job. Josh Caruth just went to work for him, who used to be with Impressions. I've had a couple of conversations. So it's not that they're trying. It's just when you're having a big ship like that, it's tough. And
talk about a stacked deck. He goes to work there, and the first couple of weeks they canceled the show. He's working.
Absolutely. So it's there. But okay, so Printing United's canceled, and that's a big thing. If you've never been to a Printing United SGIA, you want to go to Vegas because you want to see all aspects of our industry of specialty graphics and stuff. Oh my gosh. You
No,
know,
it's eye-opening, and
it
it
is
also
eye-opening.
makes you. There's a lot of what, especially if you walk around in the normal printing, with flexography or whatever, whatever you want, and just look at how they do it and what they're doing. It starts to make you think about how we can improve our industry a little bit, And I think that cross-pollination is really good sometimes,
It can be, exactly.
Right. So we got some points here. So Richard says having Friday lunch with Marshall and Allen. Thank you, Richard.
And Richard knows all about the SJM Printing United, has some opinions, but I think he's going to stay quiet.
I'm sure Richard has lots of opinions.
Lots of opinions. We've been involved with him on some emails with him. So yes.
Simon says, what have you heard about ISS Fort Worth? Yay or nay?
It's yay.
Guess what? Let's talk about that. It's our next topic.
Yeah, I think this is a huge opportunity.
Fort Worth Shirt Lab. So
yeah. So Simon, Fort Worth is a go. It is going to be big. We're going to be down there broadcasting out of GSG's booth.
I'm flying in on Wednesday.
Yep. I fly in on Thursday. Really looking forward to it. There are going to be some stuff. I've heard there's going to be a mask mandate. Okay, fine.
I don't mind wearing a mask. And here's the thing is trade shows anyway, right? Like 10 years ago, I wish I would have wore a mask. I mean, there's so many people, and let's just face it, not everybody's got good hygiene. I've been to the men's room. I know who doesn't wash their hands. Okay. I'm let's just coat myself in hand sanitizer when I'm at these things anyway, right? So wearing a mask isn't a big deal. Okay.
Right.
Come on.
So I think whatever we have to do to get together to continue on, I'm okay with that. I am excited to be there. There it is. And we will have that one on the Q&A made for us by GSG.
I can wear a mask.
Yep.
Right? It's not a big deal.
Yep.
Okay. So anyway, go ahead.
So I think Fort Worth Impressions is a go. This is an opportunity. One, it's going to be incredible. Fort Worth is a good show. Texas is a great state. Fort Worth's a fun city too. Great restaurants.
Right.
Good barbecue. Got to have good barbecue. So and then Shirt Lab coming right up against it.
Yeah.
You can't beat that.
So we had a call earlier in the week with the marketing team at GSG.
Yep.
And let me tell you how fired up they are. Okay.
Absolutely.
They're so excited about this show. I don't think they can stand it. Right.
Yep.
So they're ready for you guys to come in. They're debuting, by the way, a new ZSK embroidery machine.
Yep.
That's hitting the market. It's a new forehead, if I remember, right?
I think so.
And so it's like one of these things where I think that you need, if you're planning on going to Fort Worth, there's going to be a bunch of stuff for you, right? And so it's full tilt. Let's make it happen, kind of a thing. Will all the exhibitors that signed up a year ago be there? I have no idea. All I know is I'm going to be there. If you're going, I can't wait to meet you, right? Regardless if you go to Shirt Lab or not, which I hope you do.
Yep.
But if you're there just for the show, I want to meet you. I want to hang out with you. I want to hear all about your shop, all that stuff, right?
Absolutely.
So
I know when we were in GPX Irving with GSG, the best part was just meeting people. I see Josh from IGG just came on.
He's
heard
coming.
of him. We got to meet him. He'll be there. You and I had lunch with one of your clients out of Texas. It was so great.
Yep, he's good. By the way, K&B Promo is our host shop for that. For Shirt Lab, right? So what that means is we send all of our boxes of stuff there because he's got a receiving department.
Sure.
And he just puts them off to the side. And then when I show up on Wednesday of next week, I'm driving over with the rental van that I got, and I'm going to be filling it up with stuff that was shipped in. So, all right. So we got some comments here. So Cindy says, what's the difference in white fast flash and white low cure?
Good question.
So Mr. Print Better Whites, you want to take that?
Sure. So in whites, you have fast flashing whites, and then you have white low cures. In low cure, you also have colors and stuff. So it's a series of ink called low cure. Your fast flashing whites are going to flash. And by flashing, that means your gel temperature, you just want that ink tacky so it doesn't pick up on the next screen, is going to flash faster. Instead of 5 seconds under the flash, it's going to be 3 seconds. It's a time thing. With low cure, all plastisols, standard plastisols cure at 325 degrees, 320, 330, pick a number, whatever. And it's a total ink film thickness cure. With low cure series, we are talking the GSG Vortex, International Coatings, Flex Cure, the Cool Whites, the Wilflex Top Score type ones. You know, WM Plastics has, yeah. So you have these actually cure at a lower temperature. Many of them to 270, 275, 280, around there. So your cures are lower. This is important for polyesters, dye migrating shirts, stuff like Marshall's wearing right there, because your migration starts with heat. And when it gets too high, the dye starts sublimating. But now there's extra savings and stuff because, you know what? I would rather run my dryer lower, and energy savings and stuff. There's going to be a better stretch on them. So
however, I'll tell you, if you have a low cure underbase, right, you need to add the low cure additive to your colors.
Yep.
Because those colors, if you don't put the low cure in there, they're still going to want to cure at 320. So if your dryer is set to a lower temperature, you're not fully curing what you're printing on top of the underbase.
Absolutely.
That can lead to big issues.
Huge issues. And you have to remember, a low cure additive, the only one that has that is, I believe, International Coatings has a low cure additive. So it is great.
Wilflex has one. You sure? I could have sworn they had one.
I might be wrong, but I don't believe so. I very rarely am. I don't know. But anyways,
I'm wrong all the time. Just ask my wife; she'll tell you.
Exactly. So on low cure inks, while that total cure temperature is lower, your flash temperature is lower too.
Right.
So make sure of that. But yes, if your top colors are not low cure, you're going to either have under cured top colors and cured low colors, or both. So yeah, that's the deal. It's a great question. Yeah. I'm a big low cure fan. I've been a big low cure fan since they came out with it probably 6-7 years ago. Every ink company has it.
I know tons of companies that have switched to low cure for everything.
Yep.
And because why have two sets of ink?
Exactly. Well, it used to be the first low cures, it cured low and it was like 270 to 290. So you had a separate SKU of ink. Now with like the International Flex Cure, which is available from GSG, I believe the Vortex, so that range is like 275, 270, all the way up to like 325. So it's a big range there.
Right.
So it's nice.
Cool. So Cindy says, hey, I posted a question.
We just answered that. Thank you, Cindy.
And then Peter wrote the dictionary here. The old SGI show had definitely reduced their focus on textile printing in favor of an increased focus in wide format digital graphics printing. The information that M&R is hearing from Printing United is they are dedicating a lot of resources to an increased participation and support of the apparel decorating industry. Part two is Printing United had dedicated a lot of floor space to the apparel zone at this year's show in Orlando. In other initiatives, they have brought on resources from Screenprinting magazine and have hired 3 people who were previously with Impressions. Thanks, Peter.
Absolutely. And like that, I've
really great comments. So
Josh Caruth is one of those who used to be in charge of Impressions. I've spoke with them a couple times already. And I've just told them, you know, Marshall, you knew Impressions has supported us. And what I told him is, Josh, I will help him any way I can. Anything we can do to further our industry, we're all about it.
Right. And then Mark says, hey, Mark, good morning. Fast flash is going to be determined by the mesh count and used, and the amount of ink to be put down. Higher mesh count and less ink deposit will lead to a faster flash.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Mark, while you're listening, what is the range on the Vortex low cure ink too? I said that I want to make sure I'm good on that. If you could correct me or confirm that.
Yeah. And Simon says, Peter, we're around for SP. I guess he means SGIA. Textile screen print was front and center back then.
Yeah,
And
SPIA.
then,
When it used to be when I started, it was SPA, then SPIA, then
yeah,
SPAI, and then SGIA. So it's went through some morphing.
right, right. So then you have to know the correct way to stir in your colored inks.
No,
What do you mean stir in your inks?
you don't want to stir in your inks. You have an underbase, a low cure underbase white, and then you have your royal blues, your orange, and everything like that
Right.
of low cure inks that you would put on top of them.
So why wouldn't you use low cure for the fast flash?
You would use low cure for everything. Fast flash is an
Right.
older technology on standard inks.
And there you go. Alan is correct. Marshall Atkinson is wrong.
Well, he doesn't say that.
Woolplex does not have a low cure additive. I just checked.
I didn't think they did.
All right. And Mark says 275 to 320.
Thank you.
There you go.
See, it's a big range, and that's nice. And that's the stuff that International Coatings and Vortex has done, where it allows you to have one ink SKU, one ink line instead of multiples, and that's huge.
Right. And then Cindy, same question. It's just stirring low cure into your colors.
So the International Coatings, GSG has a product called Low Cure Additive, and it's like a liquid plasticizer. And I want to say it's 5 to 10% by weight of you add to your colors, but check with the recommendations on it.
Right.
It's
They're going to have
easy.
a spec sheet. They're going to have a spec sheet.
Yep. So you only want to do at that point, Cindy, you only want to take out the amount of ink. If you have a standard, say royal blue, you want to take that ink out, what you're going to use for that job, mix in the low cure additive, use it. You don't want to put it back in the bucket. When you're done, put it in a separate container.
Right.
Thank you, Mark. He just
yeah. If it's old technology, why do they still sell it? Because it works.
Because people want it.
Yeah. And 10% by weight. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Mark. Yep.
So let's just give, I think, before we get off this topic, here is the timeline for next week. Okay. So Impressions Fort Worth is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yep.
I'm actually teaching a class on Thursday. So I have a 3-hour marketing class on Thursday that you can sign up for. And it's a great class. And what we do is we work on developing a marketing calendar, right? So I go through a bunch of stuff, and then I give you the tools to create a marketing calendar and kind of a lot of thinking that you can revise your whole marketing program. I just punched my microphone. And then so there's a lot of classes the day before the show starts. Usually these are longer workshops. I think Charlie teaches his how to print class usually on Thursday.
I think he does. And Charlie Tiley will be there. Yeah.
Right. And then so the show is Friday. And then so there is a I'm not sure if GSG is just still doing their party Friday night.
I don't know. I think
they don't know if they're doing that. I know the new Made Labs, which is Brett Bowden and Tom Davenport and Ryan Moore's new thing. They're having a big open house Friday night, and I've signed up for that, so I'm really looking forward to that. And then so the show's also Saturday all day. I know lots of people who are coming in for Shirt Lab are coming in on Saturday so they can walk the show on Saturday. The show ends at 5. And then Sunday, I believe the show lasts till noon, if I'm not mistaken.
Noon or 3 or something.
Yeah, something like that. And then our event, Shirt Lab, our networking is at Printed Threads, which is Brett Bowden's shop, at 6:30 to about 8:30. So we're having a hangout, beer and wine and Texas hors d'oeuvres. Okay. Yeah. And then that's going to be lots of fun. And we do our rock, paper, scissors tournament. So if you've been to Shirt Lab before, I hope you've been practicing. And we have a trophy that you can win. It's lots of fun. And we do that so everybody can meet other people. Yep. So it's kind of an icebreaker, get you to meet, because what we do is we put everybody's name or your business card in a hat and we pull them out, and we have a March Madness style tournament, rock, paper, scissors. And I'll say, okay, Alan, you need to go find Bill Smith. And I don't tell you where he is. You have to go find him and introduce yourself. And that's how everybody gets to meet each other and mix it up a little bit. Right.
Oh, cool.
So it's a lot of fun. And then And then our education for Shirt Lab is Monday morning starting at 10 at the Fort Worth Community Arts Center. And then also Tuesday as well, right? So it's Monday and Tuesday. Have a really fantastic lineup. Tickets are still on sale. You can still buy tickets. And if you can't go, we also have live streaming, right? So we're live streaming it. So there's a live streaming option that's a couple $100 cheaper. So if you're stuck, you're in another country, you can't go, you can still participate and watch. You just can't network,
Yep.
Which is really half the fun of Shirt Lab is the networking. But you want to take advantage, you can still do that. So you go to shirtlablive.com to get tickets. And then it's going to be lots of fun. We've got, I think, about 110 or so folks right now who are coming to Shirt Lab. So it's going to be really great. Would love to see you there. Any questions, you can let me know. So
I think too, we have to let people know, because you're teaching a 3-hour class, it's going to be during the time of Q&A. So we are doing Q&A. It's going to be earlier.
Oh yeah, we have to talk about that, right?
It's going to be at 9 in the morning next week.
So that means if you're Eastern time, it's 11. Well, it's 10. What
10.
time is it?
10.
So it's 3. No, it's 11 because it's 3. No, hold on. 9 in the morning Texas time. I'm so confused.
It's 1 hour. It's Central time, so it's 1 hour. So it's 10 o'clock Central.
Yeah.
Yep. And so Pacific, it'll be 7 o'clock Pacific.
Yeah, right. So early, you can get up and drink some coffee, right? So
8 o'clock Mountain.
Right. So we'll have lots of social media next week with the right time and everything.
Absolutely.
So just follow along, and again, Alan's right, Marshall's wrong.
Today.
All right. So we got some comments here. So Cindy has to go. Have a great Labor Day weekend yourself, Cindy. Appreciate you.
See you next week, Cindy.
Evan wants to discuss emulsion over mesh.
Got
if
it.
you have time. We do have time, Evan.
It's all about your question that you make. You guys set the show, so that's good.
Right. So what specifically do you want to know about it? Just in general, what does it mean? Or are you struggling with something, how you're coding your screens? If you could let us know that so we know how to answer, that would be great.
In general, EOM is your emulsion over mesh, and that is the measurement of the percentage of emulsion thickness over your mesh thickness. Yes, all meshes have different thicknesses depending on the thread, depending on the mesh count, and depending on the manufacturer. So for plastisol printing, the rule of thumb is you want between 10 and 18% EOM, emulsion over mesh. You cannot measure this with your fingers, no matter how much you've calibrated them in the morning.
You calibrate your fingers?
You can, yeah.
How do you do that?
Well, it's the same way you measure tension with your fingers.
You thump it like a watermelon, right?
Exactly.
Right? Doesn't that work?
Yep. So
how many times have you seen that in your life? Somebody thumping
a lot.
Going, hey, this is a good one.
A lot. So with an EOM, you use a thickness gauge that you can get designed for screens. Now I tell people in seminar, if I come to your shop and you have a screen there, you tell me you're using, having some problems. I'm a screen printing nerd. If you see me reach under your screen and give them a little feel, it's not a weird thing. What I'm doing is putting my finger on the image and seeing if I can feel the lip of that emulsion over the image.
It's kind of like picking at masking tape. You should be able to feel it with your
finger. You should be able to feel that lip. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Okay. So Evan says too, he's using screens ranging from 1% to 10% and finding I'm getting better prints. Okay, so here's the deal. EOM gets you a thicker one on there and gives you that gasket. Now, there is a rule of thumb too called your RZ value with the smoothness of your how you coat of the surface of your emulsion on there. And if you're using a super high shear ink, a Wilflex Quick White, things like that, and you have good blades and you are running fast, you can get that. It's a fluid dynamic thing. So plastisol ink actually as it's moving, turns to liquid, and then it'll set right back up. Is how that is if you want to get into it.
It's
so
thixotropic.
It's thixotropic means it's there, but then we're talking about how a body's on there through there. The thixotropic is when it's sitting in the bucket and all of a sudden it gets heavier and thicker too. But yeah, so it is that. So the key is, while we can be technical on this all the time, Evan, if you're getting good prints, now if you're having to actually hit it 3 or 4 times, that doesn't count. If you can get it in one shot or two things, then that's fine.
Right.
But yeah.
Right. So,
but hopefully that's there. And Evan, you are welcome to email me or Marshall and contact me afterwards. I'd be happy to talk to you. I do have a thickness gauge and use thin thread. You're all over it then. You have tools and using them. I'm loving this.
Right.
Evan, where are you located at? I don't know who you are. Marshall, do you know him?
I don't know Evan.
Evan, where are you located at? Let us know. I was mentored. Okay, so right there he says, I was mentored by Bill Hood. Bill Hood is in the academy with us. I don't know everything, but I have a pretty good grasp of technical knowledge. I can clear a screen in one shot.
Good.
So you're probably doing things pretty good.
Right.
Then. So that's wonderful.
Great. That's great. So let's get to some other comments, and we got more topics.
If you're in Texas too, Mark Soldonic, GSG, can be a great help on this also. He's right there.
So Kisa says that Chris is in my marketing class. That's awesome. Perfect. I can't wait. Can't wait. And then Brian says we sound like a bad Seinfeld joke about the time zones.
It is. It is. This is a show about nothing. Absolutely.
Well, that was kind of our founding premise, wasn't it?
Let's just get on there and do this. And you think we know what we're doing, but we don't.
Braden said, I heard if you bounce a quarter on it, you can determine your thickness.
Not really. If you bounce a quarter on your
he's being funny.
On your screen tension, you can determine how high the quarter bounces, but that's it.
Right. Mark says if the thickness of your emulsion should be approximately 1/5 of the thickness of your mesh.
Okay.
Right. Evan, well, hold on. Evan says he's an hour south of Chicago. Hey, that's in your area, dude.
That is mine. So, Evan, please contact me if we haven't talked yet before and I'm not remembering it.
Right.
But I do cover Chicago and Illinois for Easy Way. I would love to talk to you.
Right. And Braden wants to know if I have a thickness gauge. I do not. Maybe I should get one. And Braden says maybe something we should go over when you come to October. Right. Yes. I'm doing a shop visit up in Zone in October. Again. By the way, Braden, I booked my plane ticket the other day. So Evan says, I sent you a friend request, Alan. I'm in search of another mentor. Great.
Well, you're going to have to raise the bar a little bit more if you're down to me now. So, but I'll be happy to. So you got to get a better group of friends. But I'll be happy to talk to you. I don't know about mentoring. I usually, when I talk to somebody, I learn as much from them as they do from me. So how about you, Marshall? Same thing?
Yeah. Yeah. I love talking with people. You never know what you're going to uncover.
Mm-hmm.
Right. All right. So let's get to our next topic, which are, what are the rules?
Did you see the time? We're not going to get through all of it. Yeah.
What are the rules? Okay. So here's what I mean by this, Alan. So I've been talking with a lot of shop owners this week, and a lot of these folks are having some challenges with their clients.
Mm-hmm.
And what's happening is there's a lot of back and forth on things. They're being very unclear on orders, quantities, artwork, a bunch of stuff. And so what are the rules? What I mean by this is the rules that you're setting up your shop to operate, your clients need to know what those are, and you should be training your customers to operate within that framework. For example, 100% pay up front, or we have to have all of your order information before it's an order. So you can't say, hey, I'm just going to give you the shipping address next week. Mm-hmm. Right? No, we need everything now so we can just process everything quickly, right? So the reason I wanted to go over this is because I've had multiple coaching clients this week. We're talking about the rules of the shop for how your employees behave, how your customers behave, what are the expectations. We want to be crystal clear on things. So from a customer purview, right, do you have a branded guideline on how to send artwork in, or how we put an order in, or what we're doing right now because we can't find inventory, okay? How many people right now are struggling finding inventory? It's 100-piece order, and you have to order from 5 different locations to fill the order, right? You're spending an hour on that instead of about 5 minutes. It's ridiculous. I totally get it. What are you saying to your clients? Okay, this is the time to be communicating this stuff, right? So can you mix and match brands? Can you do different things, right? So instead of selling one particular blank, is it okay to have a conversation with your client to say, hey, we're gonna use a 5.5 ounce 100% cotton shirt, and it can be different brands because not everybody's going to be in the same room. You know, you're shipping this out to 100 different people, right? They're not all together. Nobody will know that black is black. You know, one's a Jersey's, one's a Hanes. It doesn't matter, right? Or maybe it does. What are the rules? Set that up in advance so you can make better decisions quicker.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. What are your thoughts on that, Alan?
Well, I think it still comes into communication. You know, when your rules have to change. We talked last year, Marshall, that we are moving in when we were in the middle of COVID, saying we are going to be coming into not a new normal, a next normal.
Right.
The rules have all changed. Nobody foresaw. We were just saying, let's get back working. We didn't know about shortages on garments, on ink, and stuff like that.
Right.
You have to communicate that. So the rules you have are changing because the game changed. And you have to be flexible. I'm not going to say pivot. You have to be flexible.
You just did.
I know. I have to drink something. You have to be flexible. You have to adjust in your business plan. You have to talk to your customers going, yes, I want your business, knowing it's going to take you longer to source garments, to source, inks or whatever. You have to do that and let them know. I was talking to a client today, and they were talking about the stuff they sent out to contract printers. And he said the contract printers are 3 to 4 weeks now. They are just jammed.
It's jammed.
Everybody is. And part of that is because of busy, and part of that is because of time sourcing, I believe.
Well, a big thing for contract printers right now is not all of them are 100% capacity with their staffing.
Agreed.
And so they might have 10 presses or 6 presses or 2 presses or 20 presses, whatever it is, and they're not fully staffed with their equipment, and maybe they don't have a second shift like they used to. And so it's like one of these things where the reason why they're so far out is because their capacity is so much smaller than it used to be. Right? I know tons of contract printers who are not taking on new clients, who are not taking on new business because they don't want to disappoint the people they have.
Absolutely.
I also know plenty of them who have gone up in pricing.
Oh, and they have to.
Right. And because they have to, the only way they're hiring that printer is to be, they gotta pay their people more. Their labor's higher, right?
Labor's higher.
That's what's going on.
Cost of goods, cost of doing business is higher. They have to raise their pricing. You have to raise your pricing.
Yeah. The price of poker has gone up, folks. And if you're still operating with what you were charging earlier, I think you're going to be less profitable, but you're also leaving some money on the table. And you don't want to be the lowest price guy anyway, right?
No, there is no more penny ante.
Yeah. So I got some really great comments here. So Evan says, we did that one. So Tim says, Alan, do you still cover the East Coast? I believe Tim's in Virginia, if I remember right. Just finishing our Dane auto reclaim install today and may need more easy way chemicals.
Sure.
So who's the East Coast guy? Is that
Tim? Let us know where you are and email me. I don't cover the East Coast. I only go, the farthest east I go is like Western Pennsylvania. I can
He's in Maryland
things. Yeah, I can go into Maryland a little bit too. Oh, he's in Maryland. Okay, possibly. Maryland is one of those little areas mostly handled by Rick Christian, our East Coast rep, great guy. But let's get in touch. Get in touch with me, and let's at least get. I will help get you going and get you in touch with Rick. And we don't want you to. Be out of chemical. We can get that done one way or another. So please email me. Marshall will put up my email address, and let's get that going.
Yeah, let's do that right now. Hold on, I got it somewhere.
So Maryland is depending on who the distributor is you order from, whether it's mine or Rick's. I do have a couple distributors go in there from, but yeah, mostly Rick handles it.
Okay, great. So Brian says he calls the rules setting expectations with the customer. That's exactly perfect. Braden said Samar just said they're being more selective on new accounts through the end of this year. That's awesome.
I think everybody should. Are there accounts you want and other accounts you need to fire too?
Right. So let me hide that.
And Tim says Maryland. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. So all right, we got 5 minutes left. Do you think we can do our last topic?
Let's do it.
Don't wait. It's the next normal. And so the reason I think this is really important right now is I want you to imagine the crystal ball for holiday when there are no hoodies, there are no sweatshirts, there are no jackets, there are no anything. What are you going to be selling? Right? I want you to start thinking this through now because we are in such a crazy inventory. Everybody's going nuts. Everybody's pre-buying and ordering. And, you know, I know you've seen the 44 or whatever it is container ships that are stuck out in the Pacific Ocean waiting to unload right now. Okay. That's all your inventory and all that stuff's already sold. Right. As soon as it lands, it's going to where it's going to go, and you're still not going to be able to get it, right? So I think what we need to be doing right now is thinking about in advance, what can you be doing? What products, what services, what clients? How are you going to have sales when what you normally do might not be there? Hopefully it is.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not going to be, but what are you going to be doing on purpose? Right? Start researching now what you can sell. Okay. Yep. Don't wait. Right. So is there something that you can be doing that's different that there's stock on that, you know, that you normally might not be doing that you can change? Right. Start thinking about that, getting samples in, trying to figure out the decoration, you know, and I think if you start doing that, you're going to be better off than if it's, you know, October, and now you're scrambling with this same thing. Right?
Absolutely.
So that's kind of my kind of warning. You know, I know lots of people have already been doing this, right? But I just want to throw this out there, right? What do you think about this, Alan?
I think there is a couple things. We've talked about this through COVID. One, what are the new markets? We know what you do. But one, on what you do, you need to have stock ahead of time, and you need to start working on Christmas and holidays now. If you haven't started now, today's the day. You start now.
Right.
Finish this podcast, done. Start working on it. Two, on garments, and so you start sourcing them when you can ahead of time, what you think you might need. But I also think new markets. You know, the nice thing about apparel, you might not be able to get, you know, that color ink. You know, red, green's going to go a lot. Maybe you need to look at embroidery. Maybe you need to look at a new thread. Maybe you need to look at promo. Maybe you need to look at stickers. Something.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? What's out there that you can do to keep business going? This is not a push the panic button. This is just reality. This is the next normal. We don't know what will happen. You know, some garments are being sourced pretty well. I had a discussion with Sanmar at Deck Show. You know, they have some things that they think might happen before the end of the year, but nobody knows. So you have to start planning. You have to, one, like we talked about, set the expectations with your clients, start talking to them. What are your plans? And if they don't have a plan, start that conversation with them and get
early.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. Sean has a great comment. Meeting with A-level clients to plan the remainder of the year and next year. We'll be helping them understand where things are available and what they should expect on other items. Exactly.
Perfect,
thank you, Sean. So I think, you know, we all want this industry to succeed.
Absolutely.
You know, what's really great is orders have come back and now we can't get product. So it just feels like this kind of crazy catch-22 science fiction movie that we're all in, you know.
It is.
And I think that, like, the more that you do with communicating with your vendors, with your supply chain, with your customers, with your employees. I know people who are incredibly frustrated right now. You see the Facebook F-bombs all day long about this thing. That's, I know that you're venting. That doesn't help things, but I think that you need to really kind of look at what's going on and start managing things. Frank has a great comment. Can you believe that Christmas lands on December 25th again this year?
2 years in a row. Who knew? Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, don't wait. We're in the next normal. 2022 is going to be, to me, it's going to be more of the same.
Yep.
And as an industry, we want to survive together. I think we can pull together. We can share resources. We can share ideas. A lot of people right here on this program, are here for you. If you have a comment or a question or whatever, we can certainly help you guys.
Yep.
So please reach out. Okay.
Marshall, put up our email addresses so people can contact us.
Yeah. So here's Alan's at ahal@easyway.com. Here's mine. It's so hard to remember. Marshall@marshallatkinson.com. Happy to help you guys. Somebody emailed me today, want to know how to price heat transfers. I answer questions all the time. Happy to help you guys. So anyway, where are we? So, hey, our show's over.
Frank just put the little quick one we need to say.
Expect and plan for shipping carrier delays. Exactly.
Yeah, some of the delays on garments are not due to lack of materials or garments. It's due to shipping and containers and getting containers back.
It's it's so weird. Order in early.
Right.
So can you believe I went through this whole show and didn't mention that Florida State's playing Notre Dame this Sunday to start the collegiate football season? Can you believe it, Alan?
I can't believe it. I know you wanted to play a fight song, and I kind of talked you out of that thing.
Yeah, I'm not playing the fight song. I wanted to play the fight song, but I'm going to say go Noles. I'm leaving about 20 minutes after this show with my son to go to the airport to fly to Tallahassee, Florida to see my family and my friends there. And it's going to be such a great weekend. I can't wait. I couldn't even sleep last night. I'm so excited.
In case you haven't picked up on it, Marshall is an FSU alum.
I'm an FSU alum. I went to Florida State, graduated in 1986 with a bachelor's degree in painting.
Because the classes for underwater basket weaving were full.
Well, I'm a watercolor. I'm a watercolor. Well, I went to Florida State for free, a full ride scholarship. And I actually was an art education double major. I was going to be the high school art teacher. That's how I saw myself.
No.
And that didn't actually do that. So,
and you know what? I tease Marshall, but I've seen some of his watercolors. He is pretty awesome on it.
Well, thank you. And so anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to go, and hopefully we'll win. But it's going to be a fun experience. What are you doing, Alan? It's Labor Day weekend. Are you fishing? You going to be on a boat, a dock?
I am not. Labor Day is a horrible time to be on the lakes if you're a fishing guy, because everybody's out there. Yeah, it's a little bit out there of jet skis and stuff like that. I took some time. I went up to our cottage in northern Michigan this week, so it was awesome. I really don't know. I don't have a lot planned, and I love days like that. The more I travel, I love days like that. Mm-hmm. I'm going to hang out with some friends. I might go up to the cottage. My brother's going to be up there with, I think, my one nephew. I'm not sure if Wyatt traveled with the football team this weekend, but if he is, he's going to be out. I may go up there for a day and just hang out. Right. But I don't
get to see him play.
No, I need to get his schedule at Siena Heights and see. Yeah. I have a couple people. I have that buddy of mine, Bo, just was talking to me from Wake Forest this morning. He sent me his schedule and travel schedule. Doesn't look like I'm going to get to see him, but I'd love to see Wyatt play also. Mm-hmm. My nephew Mason has a game. He's 9th grade and playing both ways varsity for North Branch.
Great.
He said, I asked him how it went. I go, how'd you feel? He goes, beat up. So it was. The guys.
Welcome to football.
It is. Well, the guys that they were playing were huge, but
Yeah.
I'm just so proud of them, not because of what they do, but because of the young men they are. They're just incredible young men.
That's great.
So,
I played football in high school, and I think a lot of my work ethic and how I see things all comes from embracing the suck.
yeah.
You learn to do that when you're and let me tell you, I was about as mediocre of an athlete as you could get. I'm the slow white guy that tries hard, right?
I never played football. I played baseball all growing up. Mason started playing baseball, and I was loving it. He was amazed. I'd be down there and watching the pitchers, and I called him over before and just said, "Hey, watch this and this." His coach loved that I did that, but it was good on the pitching. But I just always want to support him just because they're great kids. And I'm so proud of him. Wyatt is playing at Siena Heights on a football scholarship and a academic, 4.3 he had. So just great.
Great.
But that's what's going on. So yeah, I never really do a lot on the weekends, Marshall. I think, I travel so much. I like my house. It's very comfortable, and I kind of hang out. It's a little bit of the old man syndrome, but that's good. I bought some pork chops. I'm going to grill out. I have stuff there.
Pork chops. I love a good pork chop. The thick ones. Yeah. I like the thick ones.
Yeah. These are bone in. I got them on sale, so I divided them up into bags. I buy stuff like that, big bulks of them, and good thing. Awesome. Tim Manley, I love it. You guys are great. We are. Tell your friends and family. Thank you.
Right. That hope in college football brings back a degree of normalcy we all need. Me too. That's why I'm on a plane.
Absolutely.
So the last time I saw my team play was 4 years ago in Atlanta, and we opened the season up against Alabama in the brand new Mercedes-Benz Dome there. It was such a great tailgate, and unfortunately, we lost the game. Although we were beating Bama at halftime, our starting quarterback got KO'd and went out of the game, and pretty much the wheels blew off the bus after that. But
roll Tide, baby.
Yep. And
and I say that because my mom's from Alabama. My whole mom's side of the family's from Alabama.
Well, I think Alabama's great. They're not my team. I don't root for them. I root, and I'm wearing this shirt today, of course, because I'm on an airplane going through Miami on the way to Tallahassee, and I can't wait to lord it over those people. So. Anyway, got a couple more comments. Peter says, great show, guys. See you, Alan, on Tuesday. Good vibes.
Looking forward to setting up
Frank
your
says,
with you. Yep.
Thank you so much, Marshall and Alan. See you guys next week. Yes, I can't wait.
Absolutely. It'd be great. So much fun.
And Braden says, get a Blackstone griddle. I have one. I totally agree. Mine is so much fun. Especially if you're cooking some bacon.
Yeah, I have seen those. I don't have one. So Braden, thank you. Yeah, I'm going to put that. I want that. I want a smoker. I want everything.
Yeah, I got my. My smoker's awesome. So anyway, everybody says goodbye. So he says,
see you next week. Look forward to it, Mark.
Week. All right,
if you need to get a hold of Mark, man, check out his videos. Go www.gogsg.com. Let's throw that up there. If you are not watching the videos on YouTube that GSG, Mark Saldonic does, and that whole crew, you are missing it.
And speaking of Mark and GSG, you know what I'm doing Thursday morning?
You are touring it, and they have become a diamond sponsor for Shirt Lab, and Mark's going to be there. So you want to meet the one and only, the great Mr. Mark Soldonic. You will get to do that live and in person. He'll have an entourage.
So he's got his camera guy, Daniel, following us around. We're going to be doing some social media. So it's going to be lots of fun. I can't wait to do that. It's going to be a blast.
I wish I could get over there and do that with you, but I can't. So I don't get in until 10:30 that morning. But it'll be good. If you haven't, come on down to Fort Worth. It'll be a good time. We'll go from there.
All right, everyone. Have a fantastic Labor Day weekend, and we will talk to you and see you next week live in Fort Worth or an hour early on the Q&A show live from the GSG booth at ISS Fort Worth. So,
absolutely. We'll see you later, everybody. Be safe.
Take care.